What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well, staying safe and healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long COVID issues. It is time for the Friday edition of the Pandemic Update for Friday, September 15th, 2023. We don't have a lot of news to report on today, just only 2 articles I'm going to share with you today, but we do have some updated data that just came in, which it's important that we do go over the latest variants that are out there. Utah COVID cases increase. Health experts urge Utahns to get updated vaccines. RSV immunizations for young children and people over 60 are also recommended. So, as cases rise in Utah, they are urging people to get the latest booster. And really, if you feel you want to go out and get a booster, you should do that anywhere. I'm going to be going out and getting my booster next week. Let's see, what's next? All right, we do have this to tell you about in India. India COVID cases are starting to go up again. Not a lot, but you know what? They're starting to creep up again. And India has recorded 97 new cases, so that's higher. Yesterday it was just 51, I think. I didn't report on it, but I think I read it was 51 yesterday, so that's definitely an increase. And the active caseload is at 537, which is also an increase. Total number of deaths is 532,028. All right, let's take a look at air quality today. Not much to talk about here. Beautiful weather right now in the Northeast, which is leading to some great air qualities. Look at this. You can see that here. The place that is having concerning weather, of course, I should mention Maine, Cape Cod, New Hampshire coast because of Lee. Now, on the West Coast, there are some health concerns with air quality. From California, really, all the way up to Canada. You can see these yellows, but you can also see a lot of maroons. And am I seeing 864? I am seeing 864. That's one of the highest numbers I've ever seen, folks. This is in Oregon. If you live in the area where it's 864, let's zoom in on this. Let's see here. Here we go. Blue River. If you live near Blue River, please use extreme caution if you have to go outside. We also have another area with concerning levels, and that is South Dakota and North Dakota, and up into Canada as well. Canada has some concerning levels too. Let's take a look at heat-related illnesses. We're not too concerned about this because summer is starting to wind down, but it's still relatively high along the East Coast up to Pennsylvania. We should see Pennsylvania drop next week because the weather has finally broke to some cooler weather. Texas, South Texas, that may continue to be above normal next week. And the Southwest U.S. may also continue to be above normal next week for heat-related illness. All right, let's take a look at Walgreens. Walgreens' national positivity this week was 40.6%. Prior week was 40.2%. It was up a little bit because testing was down. All right, taking a look at BioBot. And you will see on BioBot that the majority of the regions are now dropping. We're seeing a sustained drop in the south. I don't know if that should include Florida, though. It would seem to me that Florida maybe has not peaked yet. I don't know. But the West Coast is still stable. It's not dropping that much, but it's also not rising too much anymore. Where we are still seeing a rise is the Midwest. And the Northeast states, good news, you are dropping now. Also, we want to take a look at this. This is the CDC COVID surveillance. Hopefully, this is updated. I've been waiting for it to update. Okay, here it is. I'm going to move myself to the left so you can see this. Number of new sites, 91. 0 to 19% COVID detected, 85 sites. 20 to 39% COVID detected, 288 sites. 40 to 59% COVID detected, that's moderate, 392 sites, and starting to get into the high range now. 60 to 79% COVID detected, 334 sites, and in the red, which is not good, that's very high, 80 to 100% COVID detected. There's actually 127 sites like that. Look at this. Coming over now, let's take a look at a few of those sites that show other things, not just COVID. We will do 3 sites today. Let's first do How about we come down here to Las Vegas, Nevada? Let's see what's going on there. It's been a little while since we've taken a look at that. The overall trajectory for COVID, it is up. Yes, it was going down briefly, but now it's starting to go back up again. Influenza was a little bit of an issue. Now it has dropped. RSV, not seeing any issues at this time. HMPV is okay. Mpox, not detected. Norovirus, look at that. Norovirus is dropping. So we did one site on the West Coast. Now let's go to the Central region. Shame we can't do anything in Oklahoma. I wish we could. How about instead, this time, today, we go to Lincoln, Nebraska. Uh-oh. COVID here is on the rise, and now it is rapidly rising for multiple updates. Influenza, RSV, HMPV, and Mpox, not detected. Norovirus, overall trajectory since this site started in early August is on the upward trend. So that is not good to see. And now let's do one site on the East Coast. What do you say we come down here to Delaware? We haven't done Delaware in a while. What's going on in Seaford, Delaware? COVID continues to rise. The overall trajectory since early summer has been upward. Influenza, not an issue. RSV was, and then it dropped to nothing. HMPV was earlier in the summer. Now it dropped to nothing. Mpox, not an issue. And norovirus is on the upward trend. So not good to see norovirus rising at this time. Alrighty, drum roll please. Here is the latest update from the CDC. If you remember, we used to do full videos on this. We can't anymore because when you click on some of these regions here, some of them load nothing. So there's no really point in doing a whole video on this. But here's what the latest numbers show. I'm just going to do some of them, not all of them. First off, the dominating variant is EG.5 at 24.5%. Then FL 1.5.1 at 13.7%. Then XBB 1.16 at 10.2%. Then XBB 1.16.6 at 9.9%. And HV.1 has risen more to 8.4%. XBB 2.3 is at 7.2%. And then you have a whole bunch of other variants. I didn't count them all, but my guess is it's well north of 20 different variants that are active at this time in some way, shape, or form. Alright, let's move on now to ER visits. As you can see here, this map looks a whole lot better than how it has been looking as of recently. You can see here, in the south, it's starting to drop a little bit. In the northeast, it's starting to stable off. A few states, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, still seeing some rises. But New England, you have started to level off, if not, start to drop now, which is good to see. All right, taking a look at New Jersey. 487 people are in the hospital, which that is an increase because the number of hospitals reporting did go back up 68 out of 70. So not all hospitals are reporting. 22 people on a ventilator. In the ICU, 42 people in the ICU. And discharges, we can see here that 78 people were discharged. That's quite a high volume. That does not include deaths, by the way. All right, taking a look at Philadelphia, crossing the Delaware River. Unfortunately, this is not a number I like to see at all. 858 EMS incidents yesterday. Yikes. That is not good. And that's not good for a big reason. We didn't have any major heat yesterday. The weather was actually nice, so yeah, we'd like to see this number to start to come down now, but it hasn't. It's just a sign of the times. We are still in a wave. Taking a look at Montgomery County. Wow, oh so busy. 19 EMS incidents right now. How about Chester County? What's going on there? And wow, Chester County is just swamped as well. And look how many heart calls. 1 heart call. 2 heart problems. 3 heart problems. 4 heart problems. I'm seeing stroke. I'm seeing multiple respiratory difficulties. Wow. So if the suburbs are any indication, Philly should be busy today as well. And I've got to tell you something. I was out driving, delivering in Montgomery County this morning. I saw something I don't see very often. I pulled over for an ambulance. It was going the opposite direction. but you pull over because sometimes they will go on the wrong side of the road to go around the traffic in this particular area. Second that ambulance passes, 5 seconds later, wouldn't you know, another ambulance came. And that one had its lights and sirens on as well. It was back-to-back ambulances. Just insanity. And about 15 minutes later, I saw yet another ambulance. So, yeah, this has been ongoing all day long. Not good. Not good at all. All right, taking a look here. Let's refresh this. See if Los Angeles has updated. And looks like the Los Angeles did update in. Ooh, I don't like to see this. Hospitalizations in LA. Look at this. They were slowing. Not anymore. They're going right back up again. So Los Angeles hospitalizations continue to rise. Deaths. Doesn't look like deaths have risen. And we can see here, yeah, the positivity rate, it dropped. Now it's slowly starting to inch up again. So that's not good to see either. And now let's take a look at New York State. We will get back to California, man. I do have California queued up here somewhere. New York State, 3,290 people have tested positive in the last 24 hours. That includes the reinfections, too. Taking a look at hospitalizations in New York State. Not much I can say about this. They're dropping. That's a good thing. Come on, zoom in. I want to show you this number. They are dropping. 1,372 people in the hospital. Remember, they started the week at 1,493. That's a decent-sized drop throughout the week. The ICUs, though, 137 people, they have creeped up just a little bit throughout the week. So, yes, overall, maybe some encouraging signs in New York State this week. But we'll have to watch here and see what the hospitalizations start out with next week. They could still start out higher than any point from this week. And also, let's just go back for a second here. 3,290 positives. That's still a number that needs to come down some more. And it hasn't yet. I wish we would still know what the positivity is in New York State. All right, moving on now, we want to take a look at California. The positivity rate in California is 12.8% this week. Daily average for deaths is 15. Average daily hospital admissions, 395. So they're still admitting quite a few people in the hospital. You can see that number is not really dropping yet. Neither is the positivity. It's leveled off a little bit, but it's not dropping yet. And you can see deaths overall back in August through September. They continued to rise. All right, let's do a little bit of an international update. Going to move myself back to the right. Let's refresh this to make sure it's the most up-to-date data. And you will see today that overall there are some places with cases rising. Italy cases are up 19%. Deaths are down 21%. Russia cases are up 25%. Deaths are down 38%. Romania cases up 50%. And deaths up 17%. Canada cases are down 35%. And deaths are down 28%. I'm not 100% certain how accurate that number is for Canada's cases, though. So don't quote me on that. I mean, that could end up being wrong. Like, for example, they show United States down. We know the United States is not down just yet. Take a look at Poland. Cases are now up 87% and their deaths have doubled. 2 versus 1. Malaysia. Cases are up 27%. They did report 2 deaths this week. Hong Kong. Cases are up 10%. No deaths reported so far this week. Bulgaria did report 40% increase in cases and 3 deaths this week versus 4 last week. Alrighty, folks, that does it for the Friday edition of the Pandemic Update. We will have another Pandemic Update again, maybe some point over the weekend. We'll probably do the Sunday wastewater video on time this weekend. I will see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, got to do a couple things. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. And, of course, if you know anyone that needs to see these videos, by all means, share this with them. Alright, see you again next time. But until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone, and thanks for watching.